Hello, I'm Maik Meusel from the University of Zurich, and my talk is about solving real-world business problem in the classroom. Hello everybody. Since this is one of the last talks, I'm very happy to see you here. I want to tell you what I have done the last 3 or 4 months. Solving real-world business problems in the classroom. Where's the classroom? It was a seminar at University of Zurich for master students in business administration. And I wanted to do something really authentic, something really applied, just real world. So no textbooks, no textbook problems, no toy problems. So everything was real. And so the cases the students had to solve were submitted by companies. And that was actually a challenge. So we did this for the first time. So I went and asked some companies to submit actual problems they have. And I promised them to come up with really innovative solutions. And so that was high risk for me. And on the other hand, for the students, it was also something like, not what they see at universities every day. So it was really challenging. So I asked them to solve all the cases using Mathematica or Wolfram Technologies. And so of course they have not so much experience with programming because they are business administration students, so they usually only care about making money. And so it was quite a challenge. And so I don't want to spend too much time on this. So let's go and see the results. Where is it? So it's here. You can see actually that's a web page. So the thing is, I was thinking, how should we deploy our results, our presentations to the companies? And I mean, handing out Mathematica notebooks is not the most convenient way to do this. And so I thought, we have this great progress in technology, so I will try to do it like really state-of-the-art and make a web page. And so this is it. You see, here's a small welcome section. So here are our cooperation partners. So you can see, it's like, the resolution is not optimal, but you can see there are some, like the big players in the industry, like Deloitte or Ernst & Young. And we also had like some startups from Switzerland, and also non-profit organizations like WWF. And from the technology side, we used only Wolfram Technologies and a cloud based in Switzerland called SafeSwiss Cloud. And like the web technology, what do you see here, like the HTML and CSS stuff. But so that's it. And the idea was to support all devices. The company representatives would just use their tablet or notebook and can see the results from the seminar, the presentation immediately once they have one of the supported browsers. Okay, so let's see. We had like 6 projects, and I will just go over them. So this first is predicting real estate demand. It's from a startup from Zurich. And what they are doing is they buy all the data from search subscriptions on portals like ImmoScout, or like all the data for Switzerland, which is quite interesting because you can do a lot of estimation and stuff like this with the data. And the basic question, just to give you an idea, is you own an apartment in Bern or Zurich, and you want to know how should you price it. So what's the rent you can expect, and or if you want to buy your house, sell your house, or stuff like this. So good, let's go into the presentation. So again, all what you see here is on the web. And yeah, so I have to apologize. So the beamer resolution, maybe I can change it because it's just not. Can we put it higher, the beamer resolution, or wouldn't work? Okay. Okay. So yes. So this is a presentation of the project. It contains a video from this startup and just some slides. And yeah. So what they basically did, oh, it looks really. Sorry, just give me a second. I will try to change this. It was okay when I tested it like 10 minutes ago. Okay, so now it's much better. Okay, so what they did, they analyzed all the data from the search subscriptions, which are 350,000 data per week, and then they look for the patterns. What are people willing to sell for a specific combination of space and attractivity and a region? And they came up with a great idea, I think, to do a pricing tool based on the data set. And at this point, I would have liked to embed the tool. I will come later to why we can't see it here. But they actually really implemented a great solution and were quite accurate. So they were able to estimate the rent for a random apartment in Zurich up to 100 francs precision, which is really, really good. So that was a really interesting project. And there's one more aspect. Yeah. They used basically at the beginning we used the data sets and some machine learning approaches, because it's quite difficult with the data. Maybe you did that search subscription thing. So usually the users would not fill in all the information. So you just fill in, like, I'm looking for 3 rooms and up to 100 square meters or something like this. And so the first challenge is to fill out the gaps. And so this is what they did using a machine learning approach. Yeah, here you can see actually the data set, and it's just too much white space to do something with it. So yeah, what they did, they thought about what can we predict, how can we use machine learning, and tried all the methods implemented, and then compared, tested them and compared it to the real distributions, and yeah, that is like really a great project in my view, because the 3 students who did that, they had no experience with mathematical programming. So they had like 3 months to do this, and now the company told us they want to implement this, and yeah, they asked me how they can use Mathematica in their company and where they can buy it. So that was a really like a success story. Yeah, but I want to go to other cases as well. So this is a classical business case, cutting procurement costs. The question is, you're a big company and you want to cut costs by 20%. How would you do this? Yeah, here again, some ideas, and I cannot tell the whole story. So they basically came up with a business modeling approach, because you have like 1 billion ways to cut costs, to find an approach to do this, and they modeled this, and at the end, yeah, they calculated the cost, and they did like a tool, which is here, but unfortunately only a screenshot. I will come later to this. Good. So let's go to another case. Understanding mobile payment behavior. This is another startup from Zurich. They programmed an app where you can transfer money from, yeah, just friend to friend, or you can also pay with it in the supermarket or whatever you want. And they don't have users or that much users at the moment, so they are just in the like prototype or start stadium. So they were really interested in what matters in order to attract users, and what the users are actually doing with this app. So what are they paying for? And so what they did then was yes, some kind of analysis. So here's a network. Oh, I screwed up a little bit. So here they plotted a network of all transactions, and to see how people are connected within the app network, and identifying the most active users and how they compare to others. And here is what they use the app for, to pay for, and it's coffee and beer and lunch. So yeah, and for this startup, these insights were really, really important because they don't have the time to think about all this, doing all the analysis steps. And so I asked them afterwards, will this have an impact on your future like business strategy? And then the guy said, yeah, we will use the results from tomorrow. So that was also quite interesting. And they asked us to build a reporting tool where you have like a stream of data coming in, and you would get a like monitor of activities and stuff. So that was also very interesting project. Here is another project from established company EY, and it was about carving out. A large company has factories in lots of countries, and now they want to sell parts of their production. And so you have to do a valuation for this. So it goes into very much into accounting. But the problem is you have a really, really big data set of transactions, like really millions of transactions, and they are not consistent because you have like 10 different standards in different legal structures in different countries. So if you want to do this valuation, you have to like think about how you can come up with a consistent value. And this was technically really challenging. They provided us with an Access database with literally billions of tables and connections. And then at the end, the students came up with 4 different approaches how to make the data consistent, and calculated the impact. And I see, I think, yeah, here is a small animation to show, like, based on a parameter of accuracy, how the approaches will change. And so I don't want to go into too much detail. But yeah, so what was very interesting for me in this project was the manager from EY then asked the students, how long did it take you to calculate this? And I was thinking, let's see how we can compare. And the student said like 30 minutes, and then the EY said, oh, that's quite good. So it takes us like at least 30 minutes. So and I looked at the code, and of course it's not optimized because students which started coding like 4 months ago, and I think that's a quite good performance. And for the next round, I want to put it even further, say like 10 minutes or something like this. So yeah, and that's quite a good chance to really impress established companies what you can do, because they usually use all the Microsoft technology and don't even think about changing this. Okay, so let me see. Okay, so one more thing. WWF, you know, it's a non-profit company. It totally depends on donations, and they have over 2 million followers on Facebook. And the question is, what kind of impact has a post on Facebook on the donations at the end? So how can they optimize this? And the solution from the group was a tool where WWF can insert their post, and it would estimate the likes and would give you some recommendations on how you can improve it. But again, this is only a screenshot because it didn't work at the end in the cloud. I will show you the tools in a minute. And last but not least, the case from the Netherlands, restructuring a retail business to big companies in travel agencies in the Netherlands merged, and now they wanted to know how they should allocate their shops. And yeah. What I want to mention is that all the presentations you've seen now also have a report modus. So it's like the same, and you can enter it with one click. But here you see a full text version, because with that we thought that not everyone is following the presentation, or you want to make it available to other people from the companies later. So you always get a full report. Okay, so since we are a little bit short of time, yeah, what were the takeaways? Really great feedback from the companies. We have lots of follow-up projects. So some of the companies asked, yeah, can we get some of your students to fly to Amsterdam and help us? Yeah, some wanted to implement the prototypes from the seminar. So that was quite successful. And the students, at least at the end, also liked the results, but the effort was quite high. So, okay, so just to show you how did we came to this point, and this is the course materials. As I said, we're using the Wolfram language for everything, and here is how we did this analysis. So that was the first case showed you. So importing the data using semantic import. So it was really hard coding, and we used or we tried to use the most recent features like classify, wrote our own interpreter functions, and so on. So we really tried to push to a limit, and yeah, there were some issues with version updates of Mathematica, and then the notation changed a little bit and things like this. So, but at the end, the Wolfram language to do the analysis did really a great job. So you can do all the stuff like network analysis. So you can write complex algorithms, process big data, and so on. So that was really powerful. But come back to this. Yeah, for the students, it's really hard to get started. At the beginning, it's very frustrating because nothing works. There are almost no opportunities to get support. They're not like a community like for MATLAB or R. And so at the beginning, yeah, they were a little bit frustrated. And with this seminar concept, there was nothing predefined. So when I started this seminar, I had no lecture materials, and there was no homepage, there was nothing. So all that was developed like on the run. So yeah, so I tried things like live coding in the lectures, and yeah, so that was not always successful because yeah, they are business students, so maybe that was a little bit too hard for the first time, but yeah. So Now let's go to the tools, just to show you. Yeah, this was the tool from the Deloitte case, the cutting the cost case. A really simple thing. Everything was pre-calculated, but as you can see here, it has quite a lot of controls. So it's just a list, and then you click here, and you see how much you would cut the cost using some cost positions. And it turned out that with the number of controls, this was a really expensive thing. So I asked the students, or I said them, yeah, just try it with your Wolfram Cloud account, with your test account. And it turned out that the students said, yeah, after 2 hours, I went out of cloud credits just doing this. And I mean, it's not, this is not rocket science. So this is just like, yeah, a little tool. So here's the WWF tool. Show you this. So this is really cool. You can just paste the post here, world, and let's see. And then you can say, I will post this in June on a Wednesday in the evening, and yeah, you can see. So it will predict the likes, shares, comments, and so on. And now then you can ask, I want to increase. Oh, that's not working because my Mathematica version crashed. I can reevaluate this and.
Mike, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we need to move on to quiz the experts in the next room.
Okay.
I think they've started.
2 more minutes.
2 more minutes.
Okay. Yeah. So the students came up with really interesting tools, and this is what the companies like the most. But at the end, we weren't able to deploy a single one in the cloud. Some were like possible to deploy, but they were just not robust. So I deployed them, and then 10 minutes later, they were timed out, or it was just not robust. And so at the end, I decided, no, let's not include it in the presentations. And just a quick view on how we did this. We had a cloud, a classroom cloud with all the course materials. You can see here all the students from the course, and I could assign them to groups. And this is actually how they did the slides. So they uploaded the pictures, and then here they made the slides. Just enter the text and the text for the reports. So the idea was, I don't want to ask my students to learn HTML and all the other stuff. So we give them an editor to do this. And yeah, so my resume of all this is the seminar concept was quite successful in terms of satisfying the companies. And now that I have heard about the recent development of the cloud, I'm looking forward that next year we will have all the dynamic and interactive features also on the web. And yeah, I think that's a quite interesting concept, and it was really fun for me too to try all the new technology.